How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are here covering Bitcoin, Ethereum, any macroeconomic data that's come out today, but we're also going to be touching on specifically a couple of the tokens that I think are going to do very well this cycle. I'm going to give you guys straight up tokens that I've shared with people within a private group, that I have a Notion sheet built out for, that I know numerous individuals who've spent time and time again in the crypto market who have these coins on their radar. I'm going to be sharing with those guys for you guys today. We're going to be sharing, I believe the title will say 3 picks. My top 3 picks, we'll be sharing that. And that will pretty much be it for the video. Now, before we get into anything, by the way, I'm going to have a completely free introductory course into not only crypto, but into how to follow trades that I post on my Instagram. So if you guys didn't know, I post daily free trades on my Instagram. These are mostly leverage trades, but sometimes I'll post even stuff like buying Virtual's protocol. I'll go over just buying spot. So spot means you're simply just buying crypto at, let's say, $1 to then go and sell at $1.20. Leverage trading is different, but I also go into a bunch of other things as well. And that is mostly occurring on my Instagram. So I would highly recommend going and following my Instagram at Balenci Brand. You might see it popped up on the screen. Highly recommend that because genuinely I am posting all the time there. I'm trying to build that up the most, and I will be doing giveaways there. There's going to be so much going on. But through that, we are going to just literally get out a free course for you guys. Probably next week I'll have this out. And I'm pretty excited for that because it's genuinely a free course of how to follow my free trades, what to look for to even enter trades for yourself. I'm going to give you guys affiliate links for everything that I use that give you discounts on getting into stuff. It gives you welcome bonuses, all sorts of stuff. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. I'm going to get that rolled out for you. And what we're going to do is, if you guys are interested, I'm going to sell a couple day trade strategies that I personally use for a very cheap amount. I'm going to sell them for $99 each, I believe. And what I'm going to be doing is, for the entirety of 2025 so far, I'm going to show you me walking through each strategy day by day. So it's January 1st, 2025. Up to this point, I'm going to share with you guys me walking through each day by day. So I'm very excited to bring this out for you guys because, again, $100 for sharing a strategy that most people would genuinely charge you a lot of money for, thousands of dollars. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, just to get some more knowledge within the markets. But that's my little introduction. Let's get into Bitcoin. Guys, we are doing phenomenal within the crypto market, up to almost $121,000 per Bitcoin now. This is absolutely crazy. I had seen a lot of people throwing in shorts at like 117K. I had a short limit here. We just, of course, blew through that. But I had seen people who are shorting at 117K because they're thinking, oh, this would be resistance. Blew past that. I had people shorting here at 120. We are now within that right now. I think there's potential that we do come down though and form a new low. We just can't continue up and up and up like we are now. Maybe we come down, form a new low before moving back up again to a new all-time high. We are getting very close to a new all-time high for Bitcoin. And as you know, we've been going over through my short form content, through these longer form videos, the potential possibility of Q4 being a very good month or a very good time for crypto. And it does look like it is playing out to be that. Okay, so Bitcoin, my next thoughts, I think we are going to very much continue heading up higher and higher. If you guys look at the weekly time frame, this is where it looks really good, especially in the next 3 days and 4 hours. If we can get a nice big candle upwards, well, now we have a higher high in contrast to this cluster that we had here. If we close above this cluster, which is around 120K for these multiple weekly candles, then that would signal definite bullish strength within the market. I think this would be this would be the highest, I believe. Yeah, this would be the highest candle close on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin if we closed right where we're at currently. So very cool to see. I think that is going to be what we see play out. A lot of people are panicking here. We had a ton of longs here. The Brett long we had right around here. Got a nice reaction off of that. I had placed an ETH long. Like, we got a lot that we were able to get out of that. So Bitcoin, personally, I think we're going to potentially see a slight pullback before another big move up, or we potentially make a continuous big move up here, and probably will face some resistance at a previous all-time high, because that's just usually how it goes, unless we completely smash out and hit 125k. That is when then I think we most definitely see a pullback, but we're gonna have to see. I'm at a time in the markets right now with a lot of these coins that there's really no setups that are really developing. The only setup that looks to be something that I might be interested in taking is a SUI short here. If we tap this above trend line, I think we could short that for a nice movement down. So that's a potential setup that I see right now, but a lot of these tokens, I generally don't know. Sol, we had actually tapped into this short that I was actually interested in taking. I did not actually set any limits for this. If we make another move up, maybe I would, but I don't know. I'm not really interested in taking a lot of shorts right now. So we'll have to see. If we look at Ethereum's kind of in the same place. If we go to the weekly time frame where things are most important to look at, we're facing a little bit of resistance here, but we're on the way back up, and I think that ETH specifically is going to continue upwards. It's trading above the SMA, the simple moving average. It is facing some resistance at this second highest QVWAP band, but I think we should be able to push through that. We're trading above all three EMAs yet again. I was able to get us a long here on ETH at $3,900, so obviously pretty good long there we were able to get, and that was also on my Instagram. So guys, highly recommend checking the Instagram out. But ETH, same thing with Bitcoin pretty much. I think we'll face some resistance though as we continue up at these levels. $4,500 we're facing some resistance at, but I think a new all-time high for ETH within these next couple of weeks, next couple of months is definitely possible. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. Now let's go and check on forexfactory.com. Was there any macroeconomic news that came out today that was of anything important? No, there was none. Now tomorrow though, we will see quite a few different data metrics that are going to be interesting. The ISM services PMI, we have the unemployment rate, that's pretty important to go over, non-farm employment change, and then average hourly earnings month over month. And we'll go over exactly what each of those means when that data gets released tomorrow. You can see it's all tentative. The reason this is tentative, I believe this is due to our government shutdown. Now that it's switching to tentative, usually you'd have like a specified time that this data would be out, but I could be wrong on that. But I do believe that is due to the government shutdown. But anyways, that is really all I have to say about the macroeconomic data. We again did have none come out today, but now let's get into the top 3 coins that I have for this cycle. And guys, by the way, for all 3 of these tokens, it's been time to buy these, guys. Like, we've gone over these coins, a lot of short form content I made in summer, I made in spring of this year. Like, you've had a lot of time to buy tokens. I was calling longs here. I had people buy Aerodrome at around $1, and now we're up to $1.20. So it's been time. So I honestly, again, I'm not recommending anyone buys anything right now. I'm also not recommending anyone doesn't buy anything right now. I'm just simply telling you, these are coins that I've thought were going to do well this cycle, and are probably going to continue to do pretty well. And that first one is Aerodrome. We just tapped off that 0.65 fib retracement where I was able to get some entries in, and we had a nice move up. Okay, so essentially with Aerodrome, my thoughts on this is where I was telling people I was pretty much interested in seeing this token go. It's at $1.20. I think Aerodrome, at the very least, is going to see a revisit of its all-time high. Its previous all-time high at around $2.36. I think that's going to be definitely something Aerodrome will do. Again, this is assuming, though, that the rest of Q4 is very good for crypto. Then I think Aerodrome is going to, at the very minimum, tap its previous all-time high. And if we get a base token launch sometime within this year, then I think a lot of other base tokens are going to get fueled by that. A lot of people think attention would be driven away from Aerodrome. That's actually not true. Aerodrome would actually get very much receive numerous benefits from a base token launching. So I think Aerodrome is going to see a very nice movement upwards from that if we see that base token. But I think overall, my range for Aerodrome, based off of coins that are similar to it that have done well in previous bull runs, based off of the metrics that Aerodrome continues to crush with TVL, a whole lot of other metrics. We're not going in depth and in detail on all of these and sharing with you and tokenomics, all this stuff. By the way, tokenomics for Aerodrome, it is slightly inflationary. That is a concern a lot of people have. But nonetheless, if I give you a range based off of my time with this token, I've literally, ever since its inception, been a part of this token's journey and just keeping up with it, then I'd say $2.30 to $10 is my range for Aerodrome. I know some people have like crazy price predictions of like $20, $30, $40. I used to think that way. But no, I think $2.30 to $10 could definitely be a possibility as long as the market continues to heat up the way it is. Okay, now of course, all entries into these tokens now are not favorable, in my opinion. Okay, so that's Aerodrome. That's my first pick. That's one of them that you saw on the thumbnail. If we go to really another one, would be Ondo. So Ondo, I had people long at this support. I consider this a make or break it support level, and we of course rejected off there and are now up a pretty good amount from 90 cents to 96 cents. My thoughts on Ondo specifically, I think Ondo, if we look at its previous all-time high of that of $2.20, it should again revisit that as well. I think a lot of these tokens are going to revisit their previous all-time highs, like that of Ondo, like that of Aerodrome. I think that they are definitely going to potentially have that happen. But as I've said in previous videos, in contrast to December, Bitcoin is trading a lot higher than it was in December. ETH is doing a lot better than it was in December, and a lot of other altcoins are nowhere near their previous all-time highs in December. So obviously that is a concern that a lot of people have. I understand that, but it's really just how the money flows, like in this Q4, I guess. Like even if you get a 2x on Ondo, for example, that's $1.70. That's near its previous all-time high. But I think at the bare minimum, a lot of these coins are going to see 50% increases in their price. Ondo, why would I pick this? First of all, Ondo is a token that has immense backing. Go look up Ondo's partnerships, dive into that, and you'll see huge backers that support this token. So Ondo is a real world asset token, and if you guys actually go and look, I believe Tesla is a tokenized stock on their exchange on Ondo. I believe Tesla is a part of their tokenized stocks. You can go take a look at all of that. Dive into Ondo's partnerships. The reason I'm not going to list out all of them for you and get into a lot of these coins, I want you guys to actively go out and do research on these tokens. And again, that is with the free course. I hope that will help you to really get research in on your own, understand how to find research yourself, how to gauge if a project is good. But I'd say Ondo, with the backing it has, that it on itself goes a long way. The chart looks pretty nice as well. It's been ranging for a while. I think we're going to break out of this range. I believe if you go to the weekly time frame, specifically, yeah, we're kind of bouncing up into this area. I think if we break this trend line, then we could definitely fly back up to that $2. But specifically, I'd say kind of the same with Aerodrome. This, of course, is a lot higher in market cap. I'd say $2 to $10 is kind of the exact same thing that I had for Aerodrome. People expect Ondo to be like a 20. I've seen $25 per Ondo. Maybe if this project really delivers on its promises and real world utilization actually becomes a pretty big thing. But as of now, I don't think so. So $2 to $10 is something that I would aim for. And these aren't in any order, by the way. These are just three of the however many picks that I have. But let's go and throw a meme coin pick in. That's Pengu. Okay, Pengu, it's yet to really see a bull run, so to speak, right? Like this came out, I believe it was late 2024, and this was in December, right? Late December of 2024. This came out, and you guys can see, all right, Pengu reached around $7, around 4.5 cents, which is around like what, a 1.5x from here. I think Pengu, in the right market conditions, could definitely, at very, very minimum, hit 10 cents. So a 3x from here. At the very, very minimum, it hit a 3x. This is one of the best meme coins that we have within the crypto market. It's one of the more well-known meme coins to mainstream. Like I've seen TikToks about Pengu. It's like considered, I think it's considered part of the brain rot stuff. Pengu is, yeah, I think it's definitely one of the biggest coins that I would put money on. If I was to put money into a meme coin, it would be Pengu. So Pengu's my third pick. Those were three of, again, like 20 something picks that I have on a Notion sheet, but I just wanted to highlight those for you guys. But again, this isn't like a buy or sell video. This is literally me just saying, hey, I've always thought these projects were interesting. Here's where I expect them to go, and that's it, right? That's just my opinion, not financial advice whatsoever. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Just a quick little one for you. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.